नमस्कार, नमस्कार, vanakkam, Sat Sri Akal. In search for our identity refers to the ongoing process of self-discovery, exploring our beliefs, passions, and strengths to create a meaningful and fulfilling sense of self and purpose in life, to understand who we are and what makes us unique. This is the story of our ancestors and their struggle, of me and my children, from the treasury of my dormant memories. This narrative follows the path of a man who dared to take a significant leap that changed our life forever. He was a sailor in HMS, Her Majesty's ship, who participated in Second World War and in the liberation of Goa from Portuguese occupation. His courage and determination transformed our lives forever. He was Dhirendra Chandra De, my father. This autobiography is a heartfelt memorial to him, documenting my life alongside him and beyond, serving as a testament to our shared journey and a legacy for future generations to understand their heritage and the path he paved. Let's embark on this journey, disappearing into the mist of time, discovering our roots, remembering those early life of joy. सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम हंसी, सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम हंसी, हमें डर है हम खो न जाए कहीं, सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम। कौन हंसता है फूलों में चुप कर, बाहर बेचैन है किसकी धुन पर। ये कौन हंसता है फूलों में चुप कर, बाहर बेचैन है किसकी धुन पर। कहीं गुनगुन कहीं रुनझुन के जैसे नाचे जमीन, सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम, हमें डर है हम खो न जाएंगे, सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम। As the youngest of three siblings, I was born in a little known neighborhood in the suburbs of Kolkata. The locals were repatriates from East Bengal, which is now Bangladesh. Most of them belonged to the working class and were attempting to start over after losing their valuables during the exodus from their ancestral village. The majority of the homes in this area were tin colored. Our home was one of the few with mud flooring and masonry walls. There was a pond next to our house, which was typical in the 1960s. Electricity was scarce, and the majority of the roadways were made of clay. Well, that was where I lived. Then everything was supposed to change one day. This narrative recounts a sailor's journey from East Bengal to Her Majesty's ships, HMS, to the Indian Navy, ultimately settling in IIT Bombay. The father, a marine engineer, leaves the Navy after Goa operation and establishes a family, while the mother is depicted as the steadfast homemaker, instrumental in the narrator's success. about 5 years old when we moved to Bombay. A sense of excitement fills the air when travel is planned. I eagerly anticipated the day of travel, imagining the joy of train journey. Our journey began from home in a noisy, vibrating tempo shaped like a nose. It was a wrecked, worthless vehicle that broke down halfway to the station. My elder siblings, with the assistance of the tempo driver, hired a cab and managed to reach Howrah Junction just in time to catch the train. And thus began our journey away from the place of my birth. Hurrying towards the platform, I caught a sharp whiff of the distinctive pungent odor of washroom phenyl lingering in the air. We arrived at the platform and spotted our train, a towering engine that had pulled in a while ago. The engine was of an old-fashioned design, featuring a tall cylindrical boiler and a prominent white star at the front, serving as a decorative detail. The prominent visibility of its large driving wheels was noticeable. The carriages were attached to this grand black powerhouse, which would serve as our chariot for the next 3 days. The engine let out a loud piercing whistle and began to chug out of the station, producing a rhythmic chuck, chuck, chuck sound as it gradually gained speed. Back then, covering the distance between Kolkata and Bombay required approximately 45 to 50 hours. The train speeds through the neighborhoods of Kolkata and transitions into vast open fields and farmlands. We deboarded at Kalyan Junction to carry further journey in suburban train. True to its reputation, the hustle-bustle fame of the city, I witnessed its first casualty in the new land. It was a bit unsettling experience at the age of 5. I saw for the first time an accident victim lying on the platform. He was a young man of decent looks, partially bald, and his face and head was covered in blood. He had probably fallen off a train. This shocking sight would last a lifetime. I haven't forgotten the unfortunate victim's face even after 60 years. दिल है मुश्किल जीना यहाँ, जरा हटके जरा बचके, ये है बॉम्बे मेरी जान. हा 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 हो हा 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 हा. है दिल है मुश्किल जीना यहाँ, जरा हटके जरा बचके, ये है बॉम्बे मेरी जान. As soon as I saw my new home, I realized that something had changed and that a new chapter was about to begin. We had arrived on our destination, the campus of IIT Bombay. With a lake in the center and hills all around, the campus resembles an oasis in the middle of the desert. We were in the campus of esteemed Engineering College of India, and this will be our home for the next 18 years. In contrast to our previous home, the house included modern conveniences from that era. In addition to electric lights that provided stronger illumination than kerosene lit lamps, the flooring was made of cement and not clay as it was in the past. The gas oven was superior to the kerosene stove and charcoal that would ease my mom's efforts. We all were very happy in our new home. Soon friends from school and campus would congregate in this house to gossip and play cricket on a narrow strip of road where a mango tree served as a substitute for our cricket stump. The first of the friends I met had profound impact on my growing up. To mention few names, Hemant, Prakash, Rajabhav, Raju, Satyen and many more, whose name mentioning will pile up an encyclopedia. Avinash Dada's contribution to my budding years is enormous. He introduced cricket to me and supported grooming my cricket career. In those budding years, we would share Indrajal comic book serials, mostly Tarzan, Panda and Mandrake comic books. We would indulge in playful making of secret dens in bushes. The acts were influenced by war movies. And sometimes, inspired by wildlife movies, we would go hunting using slingshot called keti, which is a traditional South African primitive hunting weapon. Our target would be small reptiles like chameleon and bird. Success rate in these expeditions were negligible, but we enjoyed the fun of shooting with our keti. School was the epicenter of learning. I spent 11 years learning, playing, and indulging in healthy competition. I was a mediocre student in elementary school, but my preference for science helped me get better grades in further education. The school received numerous accolades for an exhibit created during this phase. In ninth year, I was creating an exhibit called Hovercraft based on the do-it-yourself scientific publication. This idea received a lot of praise from attendees of the Delhi National Science Exhibition. The project's creation was not without its drama, comedy and pain. It happened so that ultra-thin ply needed for the project wasn't available in my city, and so substituted it by thermocol. Fitting a suitable motor for the rotor that would produce thrust for the craft to lift was the next hurdle. I could get a motor that ran on 1.5 volt back then, but it lacked the strength to rise the craft. A friend's help came in handy. He lent me a fuel-run toy engine. Once it was fitted, we all held our breath in expectation. The engine roared and shook the craft so violently that in no time the craft disintegrated into pieces. We watched, dumbfounded, and after that momentary disbelief, we burst into laughter. But I wasn't one of those to give up easily, so started to rebuild. More example of my resilience you will find out in the section where I explain my cricket challenge. Starting over again, this time I used a motor from a discarded tape recorder. This worked fine. The rotor started moving, generating the required thrust. The craft lifted and took off straight for the National Science Exhibition.